Day 0, send-off dinner, flag-off. At around 4 p.m. on September 24th, participants of the Great Philippine Overland Loop started arriving at the Harborview restaurant for the send-off dinner and the final event briefing.
Re-remind ko lang for the safety and security ng everyone, hindi tayo kumakarera, normal driving lang, let's enjoy the scenery.
Also present were sponsors, members of the media, as well as well-wishers.
We're really excited to have this event to stir up once again the interest in people to travel all around the country as they used to before. And that's one of the great reasons why we've become a sponsor for Great Philippine Overland.
So this trip will definitely be fun. My expectation is for people to see the beauty of the Philippines and that it's indeed possible to showcase our country by traveling through roll-on, roll-off ferries, which is fast cat.
Ako si Arnel Rosario, taga Marikina. Okay, nag-join ako sa trip na to kasi syempre gusto kong, although itong trip na to palagi ko nang nadadaanan pero mas maganda pag kasama mo yung mga kaibigan mo.
Hi, I'm Tony and
Jason.
expectations, adventure, makita mga bagong place dito sa Philippines. You?
Yeah, I wanted to see the Philippines too and go overlanding.
Go to places that I've never been before, mga bagong lugar.
Nature, history and culture.
Oh, and food.
Yeah.
Pagkain sa bawat lugar na mapupuntahan.
The mood of the participants was both somber and excited. Happy, yet sad that they'll be away for 21 days. Handshakes and hugs were exchanged. There were good luck and safe trip wishes all around. While the participants were being briefed by Mototesto founder and event chairman Tim Tuazon, the production crew were busy setting up the final group photo location at the Quirino Grandstand. It wasn't easy, really. It was dark, vehicles were passing through, but after an hour, the prod team was finally able to take the perfect send-off photo. As the convoy entered Rojas Boulevard on the way to Batangas, the group stopped briefly at the kilometer zero marker. Well, that's where everything's supposed to start, from zero. The drive to the first destination was uneventful. After all, it was a Sunday.
Since I am from Tacloban, I'm expecting a lot of good things in Leyte and Samar that I could share to the group.
After a brief wait, the convoy were given the go signal to board the Fast Cat ferry that would take them to Calapan, Occidental Mindoro. Though it was a 25-rig convoy, boarding was fast, smooth, and efficient, and it wasn't long before we found ourselves comfortably seated at the passengers' lounge. Time to catch some shut-eye before we make our first landfall. Arrived safely at the port of Calapan. As the group disembarked from the ferry, they were greeted by the first sunrise of the Great Philippine Overland Loop. Mindoro, known as the Marine Wonderland and the Fruit Basket of Southern Tagalog, is home to Nawan Lake, Mount Malasimbo, and Apo Reef. After a quick stop at a Petron station in Calapan, the group headed to Bulalakaw Port, 162 kilometers away at the other side of the island for their next ferry ride. After boarding the Fast Cat ferry bound for Caticlan, the group settled down and shared a sumptuous lechon lunch, courtesy of Patrick Go, a friend from Mindoro. With the long drive finally taking its toll, it wasn't long before everyone was taking a nap. Unfortunately for those who ate a lot, the sea made them regret that they did. What started out as a calm voyage turned into a bumpy ride when the ferry entered Tablas Strait.
Minus pala siya, kaya tumatama sa iyo. So, i-adjust mo yung rumbo mo, yung manibela mo para mabawasan yung rolling. Since wala kang magawa dahil talagang ganito yung mo, pinipilit mo Pero kung sakaling meron pang pagkakataon na mabawasan mo yung swell para yung alon na andito lang, hindi rito nagagaling or dito sa side, kaya nag-rolling siya.
Or is this normal lang ganito?
After almost 2 hours of roughing it out, we finally reached Caticlan, Aklan. Home to world-renowned Boracay Island, Aklan is also famous for its Ati-Atihan festival. Incidentally, Aklan is also known as the first province of the Philippines, which seemed appropriate given that the province was the first we'll be exploring in our itinerary. Caticlan to Calibo, 73 kilometers. Waiting for us when we arrived were officials of the Aklan LGU, as well as representatives from the Department of Tourism, Aklan. As we drove off from the port to our first destination, we were escorted by the local PNP for faster navigation through the Aklan afternoon traffic. Thank goodness for fellow looper and Aklanon Angelo Gustilo, who made sure everything was in place before we arrived. First stop was the Bakhawan Eco Park, a 220-hectare mangrove forest located in Calibo. Established in 1990 as a mangrove reforestation site to prevent flood and storm surges in the community, the park is dubbed as the Philippines' most successful mangrove reforestation project.
We have here 28 species ng mangrove po. We have 35 to 40 in the whole Asia. 28 species of mangroves po meron kami dito naturally grown.
Capping our first day on the road was a drive up the highlands of Aklan to Chole Cafe for a snack of local delicacies such as ibus and brewed coffee. What's better than sipping a hot coffee while waiting for the sun to set?
Masaya siya, so marami ng adventures. Ngayon, siguro after 2 long RoRo rides, tapos ilang oras na drive natin. So, tapos makakapunta ka sa ganitong place na relaxing, tsaka tawag mo dito, nature na nakakatanggal yung mga pagod kanina, tsaka gutom.
We then checked in at the Governor Corazon El Cabangot Tourism and Training Center, where dinner made up of local dishes such as the binakong nga manok and sinampihan were also served.
Sir, in behalf of Mayor Juris Sokrob Calibo, welcome po kayo dito sa Ati-Atihan Town of Calibo, which is yun ang pinakaano namin yung Ati-Atihan sa Calibo. And of course, tuwang-tuwa po kami kasi malaking bagay po sa amin na mayroong off-roader na dumaan ng Calibo to explore Aklan. At the same time po, siyempre malaking bagay yan sa amin para sa tourism industry natin.
Day 1 pa rin pero 8 a.m. Been driving for whole night and whole day, and we reached right now in Calibo. We want to thank Governor Joen and Mayor Juris for hosting us here in Calibo Tourism Training Center with local cuisine ng Aklan and our accommodation.
Day 2 started with some members of the group visiting the La Herminia Piña weaving in Calibo, Aklan, with the rest doing some light trail driving along Aklan River. Did you know that it takes at least 5 days to embroider a simple piña barong and as long as 2 weeks to complete one with a customized design? Present to answer questions were owner Alan Tumbocon and head designer Fats Tanning.
So ito po is red Spanish variety siya. Based po siya sa story, it's dala siya ng mga Spaniards during 18th century as a fruit, pero ginamit siya ng Aklanon weavers bilang materials for piña weaving.
Next stop was the Ati-Atihan Museum in downtown Calibo to check out some of the best Ati-Atihan costumes ever made.
This one is made of, ito po, soft drinks ng Mountain Dew, and this one is a rubber slipper. So if you wanted to try this on, sir, okay lang po. I will let you try so that you will feel po how heavy it is, sir. You have to wear this, all of this, and with street dancing and everything po, sir. So I will let you try this one, sir.
Did you know that past Ati-Atihan Festival saw participants use basic and simple materials like coconut husks and dried banana leaves for their costumes? From Calibo, the group drove to Rojas City, the capital of Capiz, for lunch. What awaited the participants when they arrived at the seafood capital of the Philippines was epic. Different seafoods from crabs, lobsters, shrimp, and shellfish, all caught in the waters surrounding the province, were available for the participants to taste and enjoy. Rojas City truly is the undisputed seafood capital of the Philippines. Present to welcome the guests were Sir Mar Rojas, Mayor Ronnie Dadivas, and Vice Mayor Teresa H. Almabis of Rojas City, Capiz Governor Fredenil H. Castro, and other provincial officials and off-road enthusiasts responsible for the Salo-Salo.
So I would like to invite our overlanders and visitors and guests to visit in Rojas City. Not only you enjoy the seafood and more, and a lot of places to go. And definitely you're going to have a wonderful time here. May enjoy nyo po yung Rojas City. This is the best place to discover.
Hi Overlanders! Salamat sa pagbisita niyo sa Rojas City. I would like to welcome you to the province of Capiz. I am Trina Ignacio, one of the board members here sa First District of Capiz. Alam mo yung one of the things na learn ko talking to people who do this kind of stuff, yung nagte-trail and then umiikot, is they are able to go to places na hindi namin napupuntahan. Kaming yung mga nabubuhay ng day-to-day sa city or sa probinsya man, hindi kami nakakapunta sa mga bundok, hindi namin nakikita yung mga rivers and streams and yung mga waterfalls minsan. Yun yung isa sa mga things na I also would like to do in life. Kaya lang minsan masyado kaming busy, masyado kaming kailangan madaming asikasuhin, hindi namin nagagawa yon. And I'm so happy na kahit through your stories, malalaman namin yung ganon. Malalaman namin kung ano ang meron ang Pilipinas, lalo kung saan pala, kung magka-time kami, saan kami rin pwedeng pumunta. So hopefully, makita namin yun sa stories ninyo. Hopefully, makita namin na pwede pala.
Rojas to Iloilo City, 110 kilometers, 1,500 hours. After that unforgettable gastronomic experience in Rojas City, the participants once again took to the road for a 3.5-hour drive to the next destination in the itinerary, Iloilo, the city of love, 110 kilometers away. Upon arrival in Iloilo, the group headed to Breakthrough Restaurant in Villa for dinner, courtesy of Ilonggo Overlander Rod Ang. Just when you thought you couldn't take another bite, participants soon found themselves checking out the different fares in front of them. After the sumptuous meal, the group checked in at Diversion 21 Hotel to call it a day. That said, some loopers didn't want to leave until they tasted the province's #1 delicacy, bok choy. So while most retired, a determined group stole off into the night for a nightcap of bok choy. Day 3, Iloilo to Dumaguete, 373 kilometers. Iloilo, 8 o'clock. Upon checkout, the group made their way to Damangas, Iloilo for their next fast cat crossing, this time bound for Bacolod. Upon arrival at Bacolod, Kokoy, our production vehicle driver, had a pleasant surprise waiting for him.
Excited na makita ko yung mga anak ko. Siyempre, mahigit na isang taon. Gusto ko na silang makasama at mayakap.
After relocating in Manila last year, Kokoy never had the opportunity to return to his family in Silay City. This expedition gave Kokoy the opportunity to see his wife and daughter. Even for a brief moment, Kokoy was able to hug and kiss his daughter and tell her how much he missed her.
Yes, Mabis. Yes, Mabis. Tukang boy. Now, ha? Harap ka.
While most of the participants went off to eat kansi, 5 rigs, led by Arnel Rosario, decided to pass by the Bacolod depot of Motolite to have their batteries checked. After driving through 6 provinces, including 3 fast cat RoRo crossings over the last 3 days, they had to make sure the batteries were still in tip-top shape. The loopers soon regrouped and visited the Ironman 4x4 Superstore in Bacolod City, not only to check out the latest from Ironman 4x4 Philippines, but to purchase at amazing prices additional essentials needed for the expedition. Owner Paul Ascona was there to welcome the Overlanders. First stop in Bacolod before dinner was a visit to the ruins the ancestral mansion sugar businessman Don Mariano Ledesma Lacson built in the early 1900s and was burned down by guerrillas to prevent the invading Japanese forces from using it as a military headquarters. The mansion has been preserved in its ruined state and has been made a tourist attraction that can be visited for a fee. The late afternoon visit to the ruins was perfect as we were able to shoot the historic site while the sun was setting. This definitely made our day.